Let's see how this works out, because last time was pretty disappointing. Ahoy there! So, today you're at the Hagen Executive Cabin, and what we're going to be doing is we're getting ready to light off our late 1800s drip stove to keep the house warm. But before we do that, I'm going to try to vacuum it out first. So what we're going to give a try to here is this Snowjoe ash vacuum. Now, before you tell me in the comments, correct, it is not rated for soot, but finding things that are rated for soot is pretty difficult. It's rated for ash. So what it's got multiple layers of filtration. They've got a 4 amp and a 5 amp motor. We went with the 5 amp. We're going to unbox it. Then we're going to try to figure out where the outlet is. We're going to put a paper towel over that so that we don't get surprised like we did last time. Because last time, once we hit the black stuff, let's just say we had a little bit of a black explosion, which was followed by a red-headed explosion. So let's see what's in here. Kindling for later. Let's see, this feels like it might be metal. I can't tell. This is one of Jen's homemade magnets. This one's New Belgium Brewing out there in Fort Collins, Colorado. Just got a magnet on the back. But I'm going to use this also to figure out, oh, it is metal. Very well coated metal. And then it's got what looks to be maybe a HEPA filter. We've got more cardboard, and we've got the bucket itself. I guess that's a secondary filter. Also metal. No instruction expressed or implied here, because as usual, I don't know what I'm doing. But hopefully common sense, don't ever vacuum this stuff when it's hot. This hasn't been lit for about 6 months. Suction tube. This looks like aluminum. It's aluminum, non-ferrous. The magnet doesn't stick. Got the regular hose. This is a lot heavier than your house vacuum cleaner hose. This feels quite a bit more substantial. We'll put a link for where to buy this, our Amazon affiliate page, by the way, so you can get the same great price, but help support the channel. And then we got instructions. I'm gonna breeze through those real quick and see what it takes to get this thing set up. Okay, just looking over the diagram here to see where everything is. It must come out on the top somewhere.
Oh no. Yeah, that's not good.
Guess we got some quick stitching to do.
Okay, so it's not beautiful, but we tried to repair it. For those of you that have ever done anything that starts to fray, hard to figure out where it stopped. So we used some fray check, stop fraying on the fabric, a couple quilting clips to kind of secure it while I did it. And then we also used some upholstery quality thread.
Yeah, so 2 hours later, now we're back to trying to vacuum this thing.
It wasn't 2 hours.
All right, so we're gonna put this pre-filter that Jen modified in here. Doesn't fit real nicely either. Kind of wonky. It doesn't want to stay around. Hopefully it'll, there. Now, you might say to yourself, why does Larry have paper towel masking taped all over the exhaust fence of this thing? It's not that I don't trust this filter, which I hope is HEPA or something like it, and the pre-filter and all this other stuff. Well, last time we did this a few years ago, we kind of had a big black cloud that just exploded in here and stuck magnetically
To everything.
Guess whose fault that was?
But guess who had to clean it up?
We're not going into the details here. So, I'm going to put this back together with Jen's repaired pre-filter. Clip over the paper towel. And it looks like it's got a spring-loaded filter indicator here. Copperclad, 1890 something or other. To open these things, you just lift them because they've got these spikes that go in here, and then to close it, you just lift it. Not a single Phillips screw on this thing. If you watched one of my other videos, I explained that Phillips screws were invented so machines could bzz, bzz, bzz. So, yeah, this whole thing was put together by hand. This probably was purchased by the War Department back when this cabin was built by the War Department, but that's another video. Now, this heavy suction hose has a lock on one side and a swivel, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock that in. Now, the burn chamber is in here. Back when this was a wood stove, the wood would go in here, which we know from back home. Down here is where you'd put coal and or clean it out. Now, everything that's holding this together is a nice mix of asbestos and lead, so we're not going to disturb too much of it. However, we are going to open it up. Pick these babies up, and they are filthy. All right, going to set this on the... Ooh. And if you want to take a look in there, as a friend of mine would say, that is crispy.
I don't think that's what he meant by crispy.
Go ahead and turn it on. Here we go. Seems to be working, and no black stuff coming out. You're probably right.
Air circulation?
No black.
Yeah, this looks a lot better. And this is textured in here, so it's actually not.
Well, it's not. It's
Some of it's textured or whatever.
firebox cement.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's 200% better.
You might recognize this. This is it's a rifle cleaning kit. Because of the wall here, I have to take it apart just like you do with some guns. You can see here, this is what the goop looks like. Pretty messy. So what I'm doing is I'm basically just scraping out the carbon, because the first time we lit it, it was starving for fuel pretty good. So we shut it down, we let it cool off for a while, and now we're doing it again. The way I set this up, I've got the main shutoff valve here. It didn't have one when we got the cabin, and this always made me a little nervous not having one, because if this does decide to go nuclear, I don't want to have to get so close to shut it down. So we can shut it down here, we can shut it down out under our pump house, and we can shut it down out at our fuel tank. So we have 3 different places we can shut it down. Like I said, this is basically just the cleaner for a 22. I took the plug out that went in the back. This is the plug, because this is not instructional. I made sure to use petroleum-resistant sealer. Then I just put this in here like this, attach the rest of it so it'll reach. Now it's not rifled, obviously, like a rifle, so you don't just push it from the handle. What you do basically is just put it in here and then just kind of manipulate it. Oh yeah, and this shows my true men of genius. Yeah, one glove, then not the other. Don't want to turn it counterclockwise too far, because then I could unscrew it completely from the head, and the head could get stuck in there, and then it'd have a real problem. So I just back it off a little bit, break stuff up, and what we're ultimately shooting for is down there, that we'll be able to see it in the burn pot. Showing you Grandpa's old setup here. This is the pipe wrench that I inherited from my grandfather a gazillion years ago up in Duluth, Minnesota. I'm using the Chinese wrench to put the plug in, right there. And then I'm using the pipe wrench to counteract the torque, because I don't want to put all that torque on the burn chamber. Okay, so I just lit it, so I want to show you what I'm doing here. I don't know if you can see in here. See, there's the carburetor. It's got this line that comes through here, through the back, and into the burn pit here. Or a burn pot. You can probably hear it's pretty windy out, but it's burning. Take the light away, you can see that. Look at that, huh? Soon that's going to be warming our little cabin.